What is the purpose of meditation? Well, that depends on your intention. There's many different reasons to meditate, and I'll give 5, and I'll give them in increasing order of depth. What I see as the deepest reason to meditate will be the 5th, and the first that we'll start with is health. So many people come to meditation just wanting to have a healthier mind and body, and there's a lot of research at this point showing that it benefits things like stress and inflammation. It brings your body into homeostasis, or a state of balance, and this makes sense in light of the mind-body connection. The fact that our state of mind deeply impacts our physiology, and then likewise our physiology, our physical state also impacts our mind. The second category is cognition. So a lot of people are realizing that meditation is a tool that can enhance focused attention and working memory in these different areas of cognition. And this is more from like a productivity angle. If somebody wanted to be more productive with work or better in school, any kind of enhancement that would require mental stability. And a lot of this comes from what's called top-down regulation in science. So it's the top-down, the ability of the more rational parts of the brain to regulate more emotional centers. So you can think about the prefrontal cortex regulating the more emotional limbic system and gaining control over these instinctual impulses that tend to drag us around, or in unwanted ways bring up strong emotions that it can be helpful to have some kind of conscious control over. The third category is general well-being, more so than physical health, but also a deep sense of inner satisfaction and inner tranquility, essentially like an inner monastery that we can tap into and have this source of happiness that comes from within, rather than constantly looking externally for our source of gratification. The fourth purpose of meditation, as I see it, is service. So that might be counterintuitive. Meditation seems like this very solo, closed-off endeavor where you're going away and secluding yourself, often being alone in your room or even on a silent retreat to train your mind. Paradoxically, this makes us feel more connected to others, especially as we train qualities like metta and compassion, and we realize deeply that our own minds are just like everybody else's mind in their desire to be healthy and happy. And we start to naturally want to help others, and we feel more connected to others, and ultimately we're able to be of more service. And finally, the 5th category, and what I see is the deepest purpose of meditation, if someone chooses to walk the path, is to gain greater wisdom and insight into how the mind works. If you think about it for a moment, have you ever experienced anything outside of your mind? So the mind is all we have. It's with us all the time, everywhere we go, and determining our entire experience in each moment. That's something we can train and change as we gather more insight into how the mind works through observing it, through developing meditation as a tool to explore the mind, just like a scientist might, except we take our inner laboratory and run our own experiments about how does this thing actually work, and how can I begin to get some kind of semblance of control over it, or in a sense release the controller. And that's some of the deeper insights that come, is that our sense of self is not what we initially took it to be. These are all things that are sometimes hard to communicate, but they come naturally as developments as someone chooses to commit to a path. And traditionally, this is called awakening, or what I see as complete mental health, when somebody could have life-changing insights, which are often reported by more experienced practitioners. So the traditions talk about this in different ways. I won't go into detail here. For example, in the Buddhist tradition, there's 4 stages of awakening, all the way up to arhantship, which is somebody who has essentially perfect mental health. They have no more negative qualities left in their mind, and that's a much deeper topic. But it's just to say that there are paths available that meditation offers that are often not talked about in the West. Especially, we hear of meditation as a stress reduction tool. But with deeper training, with more practice, it is possible that people can train their mind to such an extent that their entire reality shifts and they are a profoundly different person. And this is what I would consider like a mental Olympian, somebody who has trained their mind to the extent that they're now like happy all the time, they're at ease all the time. So that's what I would see as the deepest purpose of meditation. But ultimately, it's up to you what you choose to get out of it. whether it's just you want to feel healthier, which is also a wonderful thing. These are all ways that you're helping yourself and you're helping others by doing the training. I hope you'll join us on YouTube for the free full 30-day course, learning the science and meditation. It's called 30 Days of Science, Meditation, and Bliss. So come check it out.